Like my story?
No, not your story, a story. Since you can't keep your mouth shut long enough for me to read my paper, tell me a story.
I don't think I know any stories.
You don't know any stories?
No.
All right, I'll tell you a story. This is a newspaper, right? It's 90% bullshit, but it's entertaining. That's why I read it, because it entertains me. You won't let me read it. So you entertain me with your bullshit. Tell me a story right now. Go.
Sorry. What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start. Let's go. Man, I hope you guys hear them sound effects out there loud and clear. I got to check this out. Oh, shit. Frontline is at the. There's going to be a lot of crow eating today. Frontline is in the building. Get a little crow going there for myself too, you know what I'm saying? Little crow right there, you know? Can you guys hear the crow? No sound effects? Motherfucker. Come on, bro. All right, we gotta fix that real quick. Okay, frontline, apparently I am doing something wrong. Okay, hold on. Okay, bap, bap, bap. How about now? How about now? Yeah, let's just release all the sound effects. How about now? Tell me if you heard him now, frontline. Can you hear that? What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in, man. Damn it. Come on, man. What's going on here? Let me see my settings. Hold on. Hold on. Something. Because we'll have to go back to the bell. Ring the bell. Ring, ring. Let's get this party started. Yes? There you go. Okay. We got him. Let's get a little pro action going from a man frontline in the building. Let's get a little pro. Real crow right there. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this party started right then. Let's turn this back. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for tuning in. Let's go. Where the wall fight start.
Round one.
Let's go. Yo, frontline. They came to my house looking for you, frontline. They were with forks and little things of fire. It was mine. They frontline. Frontline. Hey, yo, you want your head? I suggest you show up to work. Frontline. You know, because we're about to have Frontline come up here. And it's going to be sad. It's going to be sad. Because we're going to have to hear what happened was. It's a sad day right now for PR Boxing. We're down. We're down bad. And I got to get that crow going. Shout out to my boy Xander, though. Shout out to Xander. Listen. A real beast. Real beast. All right? Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. You know what I'm saying? Listen, Xander.
Another one.
It's on to another one, bro. That's all I can say. And my co-host Frontline is in the building. Frontline.
What it do? What it do? What it do?
What
What
it
it do?
do, Frontline? Yo, they came to my house looking for you.
Ain't nobody looking for me.
They was like, yo, tell us where Frontline is. I was
Yo,
like,
I hear echo.
you hear an echo? Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna get out and get back in.
Hold on. All right, hold on. It might be me. Hold up.
Yeah,
I
you was
gotta.
fucking with the settings.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna figure this out. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I think I could take that one out. Tell me if you still hear the clapping right now.
No, I didn't hear the clapping.
How about now? You didn't hear it?
Nope, and I don't hear it, but you hear. I don't hear the echo no more.
But you don't hear the echo no more. But you don't hear the clapping.
Not on my end. I don't know on YouTube you could, but on my end I can't.
All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
Yo, shout out to the chat though. We got
Shout out to the chat, bro.
we got Bull Ride
Listen.
in the building. He said, "What up, round one in the front line? We need the boxing scoop." Shout out to Jason Ayala. He says, "What's up, round one in the front line?" Nah, I got the echo again. Uh, that shit
That shit
bugging
bugging
me
me
out.
out. You can't. Okay. 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 Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. All right. I'm doing something here wrong. I don't know exactly what I'm doing wrong, but uh all right. So the show must go on. Listen, let's go.
Jason says,
Hopefully.
"Yeah, I heard that. I heard that in a crow." Uh,
Yeah.
K Mac in the building. He said, "What up, round one in the front line?"
What up?
William Old School in the building. He said, "What up, round one? Salute, bro. Frontline salute, bro." Jason says, "Shout out to Xander for taking on challenges at just 23." Let's talk about it. I know y'all. I know y'all want to hear my reaction. I know y'all want to hear whatever y'all want to hear. Alphabet Boxing salute in the building. He said, "Told y'all what was gonna happen. You didn't want to
Yo.
listen. Respect to Xander.
What you mean
Listen,
we didn't want to listen? We didn't want to
here,
listen. We would
here's
we
what I
li-
gotta say. Hold on.
uh,
They heard your version this morning.
yeah.
They heard your version this morning. They haven't heard me
Uh,
yet.
all right.
I'm proud of my guy. I'm
All
proud of
right.
my guy. Listen, he lost fair score. No excuses. No nothing. But I can tell y'all one thing. That third round, I was getting text messages left and right. The first round, the second round. When that third round came around, crickets. Crickets. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie though. I ain't even gonna lie. I swear to God, I thought Xander was gonna pull off a Tito Trinidad moment.
Yep. I
You know,
did too.
where Tito got knocked down, came back the next round strong and changed the fight around. I swear to
Oh
God,
my God.
that's what I thought. Now, this is not an excuse. Shout out to Big Boys Boxing in the building. He said, "What's up, y'all? That was a hell of a fight. Respect to both facts. Xander's a dog. Respect to him. He was just outclassed. He'll be back."
Yep.
Alphabet Boxing, you're 100% right. He bit off more than he could chew. Obviously, he's my guy.
That's it. That's it.
I'm a root for him and I'm a hype him up. Listen, this is no excuse, but this is just an observation looking from the outside in. Xander fought the wrong fight. Xander came in trying to go toe to toe with Boots. Big mistake, especially in the early rounds. Had he started the fight how he started off the third round, I think, and maintained that rhythm and that pace and that type of game plan to the later rounds, and then went inside, I think the fight would have been a little bit different. But he's hearing the crowd go crazy with the toe to toe and all that shit. He did what he had to do. Listen, I'm not mad at him. It's not. I'm not gonna consider this a loss. I'm gonna consider this a lesson. I'm sure he learned what he did wrong. I'm still Team Zayas. This shit ain't gonna make me go away from, oh, he's a bum or this or that. No, on the contrary. One thing I do, shout out to all the Boots fans too, because they've been, we were talking a lot of shit back and forth throughout every single, I mean, D1 knows I was riding him. I was riding him about this Boots and Xander. William know, old school know. He be on the panel with him. I've been riding about this boot stuff, but you know what? At the end of the day, every Boots channel or Boots fan has been given Xander the respect that I believe he deserves. But we fell short that night. That's it. There's no excuses. We lost. Um, I think again, no excuse, but I think just from the outside looking in, I think the weight cut and that rehydration, I think that played a big factor. I think he's just too big for 54. That's just what I think looking from the outside in. Um, he did throw a couple hints out there about the
About the
weight.
weight.
Nope, there
Nope.
you
There
go,
you
the
go. The
echo
echo
again.
again. Yeah, no, I can't. I can't do it. Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me catch up with the chat real quick.
All right,
Uh,
hold on. You said a lot. You said a
okay.
lot about the fight and about how Xander had the wrong approach and everything. Now listen to me, right? Okay. I thought about this. I thought about what Xander did and what actually happened in the fight, right? And I started to like go over and watch the fight again. Xander's approach to the fight was a head-on approach. Why? He could have boxed from the outside, used his jab, but it would have just been a longer ass whooping. He would have took a lot more damage, and he would have lasted to 12 rounds, but he wouldn't have won the fight. He wasn't going to win. He knew, his coach knew, Duran Bucenis was faster. The only success he was going to have was going to be on the inside. Where the plan went wrong was the first round. When he got hit big in the first round and he got up, he wobbled. That means that Jerome Butenis took his legs. It was the same thing that happened to AJ in the Anthony Ruiz fight, where
Well,
AJ was trying to
Echo.
fight. Hold on, brother.
Before you continue that first round, I want you to rewatch it and watch his
Okay,
foot and watch his footing. It looks like he almost twisted his ankle, but they counted it a knockdown. But go ahead. We'll
okay,
get into that later.
okay. That's not all right. What I'm saying is that Jerron Butenis took his legs in the first round. Xander had no bounce in his legs. What he could do was he could move. At that point, he couldn't give Jerron Boots Ennis the indication that his legs were gone. So what Xander opted to do was to stand in front of him. When he stood in front, now the plan was to stand in front of him, but he would have had better movement. Xander's legs were gone in round one. So what happened was once Xander started to stand in the pocket with him and he caught him, by round three, when Xander caught him with that shot, that shit was electric. We saw him wobble back, snap back, Jerome Boots in his head was rocking. We knew it. But that shows how much damage he had already taken. By round three, he couldn't turn it up because his legs weren't underneath him. He couldn't go forward. Xander was needing for him to engage again, and in doing so, he was just a sitting duck. Not only couldn't he bend his legs, but his waist movement was gone. He was absorbing a lot of punches by that time. You got to understand that when your legs get taken from underneath you, your top half feels fine. So what you're going to see is Xander punching strong. You're going to think there's nothing wrong with him. But you're going to notice he's not moving like himself. When he got up in that first round, he had Bambi legs. And that's when I knew. I said, fuck. I thought he was going to be able to shake it off. See, you remember when AJ was trying to shake it off? He was trying to get his legs. He was like, what the fuck is going on? My top half feels good, but my legs are gone. When I saw Xander not moving like he was moving, I knew what happened. I was like, fuck. But in the third round, he caught him. Now, if Jerron Boots Ennis didn't grab him, Xander was going to clip him again, right? But they got tied up, and then the bell rang, and I was like, oh shit. But when Xander went down, and all the Mexicans quickly said Xander took the Puerto Rican knee, and thank God I was there, and I was able to come back and prove what really happened. You know, when the Javi Doc went back into the corner and told Xander the round before that, you know, I was close on stopping this fight, but I gave you a champion's nod. He could have, any referee could have stopped that fight a round before that, and I wouldn't have complained. And then Xander was in the corner. He came over. He said, yo, you can't keep taking any punches like that. I'm going to stop the fight. Xander's coach told him, I'm going to give you one more round. If you go down, Xander, I'm calling the fight. So Xander knew what was happening, but Xander was trying. When Xander got dropped in the final time he got knocked down, he was looking at the referee like that on his knee, utilizing the 8 count. When the referee turned around, looked in the corner, and he saw Xander's coach wave it off. He went like that. And then the referee turned around, tapped him on the shoulder, said, your night's over, son. Your corner called the fight.
Yeah,
Then
if people calling him a quitter,
wait, stop. AB and all them went and said, he quit. And he was telling the referee, I'm done. He was looking at his corner, looking for an out because they weren't at the fight. You understand? You had to be there because, to tell you the truth, when I went back and I looked at it, that's exactly what it looked like because they didn't show his corner. So upon watching it at home, I can't blame no one for thinking that Xander quit on his knee because, brother, that's exactly what it looked like. But I explained it. I broke it down. I showed the clip. If anybody would like me to show you, look at when he got knocked down. Look what the referee does. The referee's at 5 in front of Xander. He's going 5. And then he goes like this. Oh shit. Your coach called it quit. He looks over at Xander and he taps him on the shoulder. The fight's over. Would you like guys to see it? And then what happened was Xander got caught in the fact, like he was on the knee, utilizing the 8 count. The fight got called. He got called in the action. Now, if you want to give this shit life, the Puerto Rican knee, he would have to have quit on his knee in order for that to be a real deal. And before any Mexican out there gets their panties in a bunch and can't wait to say, round 1, I told you, Puerto Rican knee, don't do it. Because the Mexican tier is a lot worse. You know what we don't do? Cry on a referee's shoulder. That's what we don't do. Okay? Don't do this. Let it go. Ain't no Puerto Rican knee. Thousands of fighters got knocked out on one knee. It happens. That's just a thing. But if you want to give that life, the Mexican tier will be born on Round 1 Sports Talk. I guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? Because that young man did not quit. You know? So.
yo, let me catch up with the chat. They're going crazy right now.
Yep.
Xander had Boots in the third round. I was jumping around my lounge room screaming at the TV, says Kane. Alphabet Boxing said the crazy part about the third round, Boots got buzzed, proceeded to go Matrix, and then hurt Xander at the end of that round. Facts.
Yes, he did.
Shout out to Richard Espada in the building. He said, salute. What's up, guys? Edwin, frontline. William Moscow said, I got big respect for Xander and the fact he's only 23 years old. He has a bright future ahead. Alphabet Boxing says, I think if he tried to box, he would have lost by 1,000 needles, but just lasted longer. Bull
That's
Rider
it.
says, hey, frontline, you will forever hold the third round in your back pocket. Facts. Yo, talk y'all shit. We here. Hey, we ain't ducking no
Forever.
smoke. Big Boys Boxing says there's a lesson in every loss. It's up to the fighter to learn from it. Facts. Alphabet says, nah, Xander Death can come back to Cookout in Philly. Mick Doonan in the building. Salute my dog Edwin. Salute my dog Frontline. Salute to the chat. Zaya's biggest issue was Boots in Southpaw. He couldn't use his jab. He couldn't his jab. He couldn't get his jab off. Boots was too quick and too powerful. Ramirez in the building. Drop the link, round one.
All right, I'm dropping it right here. Frontline, stop right there. Look at the screen. All
Yep.
right, we're going to be, for educational boxing purposes, we're going to be taking a look at the knockdown, the scored knockdown in the end of the fight in the Jerron Boots Ennis and Xander Zayas fight. Now, this is what a lot of people in that viewing home saw, and this is how I'm going to put it together. I was there live, row 17, seat 3. You would see round 1. My brother was next to me and his stepfather. We all went to the fight together. Now, shout out to my brother, Matthew. I had a wonderful time. Check this out. Let's check this out right here. Now, he gets knocked down right here. Jerron Boots Ennis is ordered to go to his corner, and Javi Doc here has been starting the knockdown count. Let's see what happens. He goes down. Come on, man. Boom. Up. Look. See, I didn't like that. I don't like the buffering. It was buffered, right? All the way through. Okay, let's see here. Okay, he goes down. Let's see if I can get it to go play right. Come on, man. Just play right. Boom. He's 5. Boom. He turns around, looks at the corner. Up. Your night's over, son. You saw it? You saw it? He was counting. He was giving Xander the benefit of the doubt. He was counting. Once he looked over and looked in the corner and his coach threw in the towel, his night was over. Then the referee turns back and taps him on the shoulder and says, your night is over, son. Xander never quit. But in TV, it looks, because it happened so fast. It happened so fast, it looked like Xander said, yo, to the referee, I quit or something. No, but he was acknowledging his coach. And then what a lot of fans started saying, well, he never contested it. Well, never contesting a fight never overturned the decision of your coach. What you're going to do, go back to the corner by yourself? They're not going to make the fight go. Would it make you feel any better if he started slamming his hands and acting ridiculous and arguing with his coach? No, his coach made a coach decision. Xander, your night is over. Pack it up. We live to fight another day. Coach made the decision. You got to respect it.
And I wasn't mad at the
Xander's
decision.
20.
He was taking
No,
too much abuse.
listen. Yes, listen. You have a 23-year-old unified world champion. 23. Add 10 years to 23. You're 33. You're still probably boxing. That's only 10. You got 10 solid more years with that young man. And you mean to tell me you want him to go out on his shield? This is not
Well,
that kind of time.
technically,
He's
he did
not
go
at
out on
that
his shield.
place. He's not in. He did actually, but he's not in that situation where the coach says, all right, son, you want to keep fighting? I'm going to let you make the call on this one. No. Coach stepped in, said, yo, no me lo dañe. Yo, listen, we don't want no excuses. You were outgunned. You were outmatched. You were outclassed. You were in over your head, Xander, and you still took the fight. It's more than I can say than Virgil Twitter thumbs Ortiz. That ever since Xander lost, he's taken to social media, tweeting mad quick. But he wasn't man enough to say yes to the negotiations.
It's funny
And
it's funny how Virgil thinks that all of a sudden, because he did that to Xander and Xander hurt him in the 3rd round, that he can get Boots out of there in 4.
uh,
Ain't that some
uh,
shit? I
no,
mean,
no,
it's
no, no,
easier
no.
said than done, but
No. See, that's a fan's perspective, and shame on him for saying that. But I know that it's shit talk, right? Because what one fighter does doesn't mean anybody else can do or replicate. For instance, didn't Brandon Mendoza knock out the towering Inferno, Sebastian Fondora? When right? But just because he did it and Tim Zoo, what did he do to Brandon Mendoza? Tim Zoo wiped him down. And I mean wiped him down. So Tim Zoo should have been able to wipe down Sebastian Fedora or knock him out or knock him down because he's a better fighter than the guy that knocked him out. And what happened? See, just because one fighter fought you in a situation, don't mean that you can replicate it. Even if you think you're slightly better, because what you're not taking into consideration is the damage that Xander took. You would have to give that damage to Virgil, hit him in the third round, and then go, Virgil, now go. You would have to make the situation the same. And I don't think that Virgil may never get to his third round against Jerome Butinis. See, he talks about if I got there, I would do this. Well, brother, you would have to get there first.
You know what the
And
problem
then
with
when you
Virgil?
get there, let's see what you do. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
You,
come on,
you know
Virgil.
you know what it is with Virgil? Virgil is literally tailor made for Boots.
He
Boots
kind of
likes the
is.
he likes the inside fight. He likes the dog fight.
I tell you right now, I'll tell you the punch that's going to end Virgil. That
Uppercut.
uppercut,
That
that
upper,
boots
yeah,
head. Yep.
he's gonna fall right into it. Let me
Fall
catch up with the
right in
chat real
like a
quick.
glove. And Virgil's chin's going to be like this. Bro,
Nah, I don't.
he's
You know
going to
what?
rock him.
I don't even think it's gonna be to the chin.
No?
Nah, it's gonna be an uppercut to the body. Like he's gonna hook him to the body and fold him.
Nah, it's going to be an uppercut right out, straight up the middle. It's going to catch him right underneath his chin. And Virgil's going to go night,
Let
night.
Let me catch up with the chat. Old school says
Yep.
Boots took away the outside fight with his jab. Boots' jab was just too fast for him. That's a fact. Jason says some YouTube channels are mad that people are giving Xander credit for having heart and taking challenges. Big boys, yes, dragging it out wouldn't have helped him, in my opinion. Boots makes 154 easier than Xander, so stamina wouldn't have been an issue for Boots. Xander
Xander
is
is
tight
tight
at
at
54.
54.
Echo
Echo
again.
again.
Yes, I know. I'm trying to work on it,
Big
but I
boy.
need my
Getting
sound.
Getting
clipped in the
clipped in the
first
first
wrecked
wrecked
the
the
game
game
plan.
plan.
Big
Big
boys,
boys,
17
17
watching and
watching
only
and only
5
5
likes.
likes.
Step it
Step
up,
it up,
team.
team.
Alphabet
Alphabet
Boxing says
boxing
Yo, what
says
people ain't
about
people ain't
talk.
now?
talk.
No,
No,
still
I
hear
still
my
hear my
Okay.
people ain't
people
talk
ain't talk
about
about
Boots
Boots
turning into
turning into
Pernell
Pernell
Whitaker
Whitaker
late in the
late in
third
the third
round while
round while
buzzed.
buzzed.
Never seen
Never
it
seen it
before.
before.
Most
Most
guys
guys
would just
would just
hold.
hold.
Yo, I'm
Yo, I'm
telling you,
telling you,
shout out
shout
to
out to
Boots.
Boots.
Yeah.
Boots,
Boots,
he
he
showed
showed
grit and
grit
he
and he
showed
showed
dog.
dog.
Can you hear the echo
Alphabet,
still?
Alphabet.
yeah,
Yeah,
big bad.
bad.
Should have been
Should have been
stopped in the
stopped in
fifth
the fifth
round. I
round.
think
I think
Harvey
Harvey
Doc
got
gave him a long 9 count, waited for him to get up, then said 9. Um, he did pause. He did pause. He did pause for a minute. He gave him probably another, I would say 3 seconds. I would say I would agree with that. He gave him a long 9 count, or he did. He gave him that long 9. Yeah, I agree. The Puerto Rican knee laughing emoji says Jason. Um, William Old School said, I see it. You already played it. Big Boys Boxer says, Boots proved he's a real dog, not good for longevity, but it's for sure entertaining. The Mexican tier is wild, says Alphabet. Nation Chosen by God says at Round One Sports Talk, Naoya will defend his title this December for the IBF title against the winner, or whoever wins between Sam Badman or the other
Sam
Japanese guy.
Goodman.
Well, he wrote Badman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, El
That's a joke.
Pinchi. El Pinchi. I've been reading your shit. We gonna get to it. Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican knee, trending all over the internet. Richard, 23 años, todavía tiene más que dar Xander. Facts. Um, Interestingly, we've never seen Xander fight southpaw. He is left-handed. Big Boy says facts. He is Puerto Rico going outside. Pinchy, I'm gonna get to you, puppy. I'm gonna get to you.
We ain't going outside. We
No,
good.
no,
We
no, no.
good. We
Well,
good.
I'm gonna read the chat. I'm gonna catch up with the chat, and I'm gonna get with it, Pinchy. Big Boys says Xander never quit. Don't know who thinks he did. Whoever doesn't have many brain cells or an agenda. I'm just someone. Shout out to I'm just someone. He said, "Good evening, gentlemen. Round one in front. Alphabet boxing and Virgil a bitch. He the same guy who lost to Bohachuk. We all saw it. El Pinchi. No más Zayas. Talk your shit. We here. If I'm not mistaken, Morales Pacquiao 3. What happened in that fight? Shut up. I'm just Morales Pacquiao 3. El Pinchi. That's all I gotta say. I'm just someone. I saw I saw enough when they stopped the fight. I don't want to see the young fighter ruined. I'm glad they stopped it when they did. William Osku says Boots would stop Virgil in the fourth or fifth. Virgil Chin has taken some abuse, and I definitely think it's weakened. Alphabet Virgil's a bleeder also. Fight would probably get stopped by the doctor if he doesn't get KO'd. Richard says la gente no ve cuando el referee mira para atrás a la esquina de Sander y ahí fue que paró la pelea. Sander no se quitó. Facts. He didn't quit. Harvey
Nah, he
looked
didn't
back.
quit.
Harvey looked
Nah.
back. And if you play it again, Edwin, when Harvey
Yeah.
looked back and stopped it, look at Xander's facial expression. Like, what can I say? They stopped it. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah, they
wants to
stopped it.
continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Like his coach called it and he understood why because they had gave Xander specific instructions that if you get hurt again, I'm stopping this fight. They were gonna stop the fight the round before. You understand?
Yeah.
And Javi Doc walked over there and was like, "Yo, Xander," and you guys can go. It's all over social media. The conversation in the corner with the ref and them. So everybody knows I'm telling the truth. You could hear it for yourself. He told Xander these exact words. I can't allow for you to continue taking punches. You got to show me something or I'm going to stop the fight. Then Xander's coach told him, Xander, if he hurts you, because Javier saw that Xander's legs were gone. See, he was trying to look at what a dog Xander is, bro. He was still trying to execute the game plan
Yeah.
because he couldn't, even with his legs gone, he's a fucking warrior, bro. He was fucking still marching forward like boom, boom, and he was taking hellacious shots. I'm a big puncher now. I was there live. I heard these punches, bro. I heard them. And I'm going to tell you what, right? When the fight kicks off, round one, bro, Xander goes down. Yo, all the brothers, all the Philly supporters, they jumped out of their seat. This dude lost his food. All I saw was a tray of food, like one of those cardboard things, go up in the air. I could see it from the corner, and I was like making sure it didn't hit me because of the excitement. Bro, the Ron Boots Innes gave the Philly supporters the voice they wanted because the anxiety leading into the fight, the unknown. No one knew if Xander was gonna fucking pull the biggest upset. So everybody was real respectful to one another until the knockdown. When the knockdown happened and their guy was up, bro, they let it out. They were pointing like this. I told you was being thrown around. Didn't I tell you high fives were going around like this? And they weren't just doing high fives. You know how the brothers do it. You know how the brothers do it. They had to look cool doing it. They were doing high fives like this, and then hand like that, jumping low. Give me two times, right? Yo, it was crazy, right? So you know me, man, right? I had the flag wrapped around me. Couldn't believe what I was witnessing. Inside, little prayers started going out. My little Puerto Rican guy, you know what I'm saying? Right? I want to scream, but I'm sitting there like this, right? So The fight continues. The second round goes. He's still taking damage, man. He's still taking damage. Then all of a sudden, the moment Xander hits that uppercut, the crowd goes, ooh. And it happens so fast. Xander comes forward. And then the right hand. And you saw Deron Booth's head just snap back. It went like that. And then we jumped out of our seats. We were like, what's going
Hey, the
on?
Philly boys got quiet though, huh?
Listen, yo. When I turned around like this at the end of the third round and I looked at the brothers, like it was priceless. Yo, he sat them all down. They were like this. They were like this. There was no more trays thrown in the air, high fiving and shit. Yo, for a second, we was over here like this. We was doing the margarita. Mm, 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 mm. We was all up in there like that. Yo, uh, we was like, we might have ourselves a fight right here. And then fucking Booth shut that shit down. He took control of the fight. Xander's legs were just he toughed it out. He tried, he just couldn't move. He couldn't move out of the way of the punches. I
Let
think
me catch
Jerron
up with the
Boots
chat.
is recognized. I think after like the fourth, fifth round, Jerron Boots is recognized. Wait a minute, he can't move. And he just started throwing everything at him. And then to get him out of there, you know, and they stopped the fight, and the rest is history, you know. But it was a great fight. And I heard that somebody said, well, then Karen's actually better than Xander because Karen survived 24 rounds. And I said, no. See, Karen was in there and he survived 24 rounds. How many rounds did he actually win?
None.
Right?
And he didn't
Then,
stand toe to toe
then,
with Boots.
then you see, because Xander's and Boots fight was totally different. Xander and Boots fight, they got the bullshit out of the way. They didn't bother running. They stood toe to toe with each other and they went at it. Xander got the worst of it. That first knockdown, it was the key to his victory. Had he still had his legs, Xander would have been stronger. And that third round would have probably played out a little different. But without his legs, his top part was punching good. He was good up top. He just couldn't force the action. He wasn't. And then if you make an awkward step, you're gonna look like AJ. That it was apparent that when AJ was trying to hide it against Andy, the Destroyer of the Ruiz, he tried to do a bouncer step, like go like this, and he stumbled, and the world saw it. And John Ruiz, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, he knew, and he attacked him. So Xander was trying to keep his composure. It's all about tails too, reading the human body, reading the tails. So you don't want to give away too much. He was hurt, man. I'm trying to tell you that I knew what I was witnessing. I was like, damn, his legs is gone, bro. I knew he was punching good. I could see it. But
Yeah, if
his
he would have
bottom
had his
half,
if he would have had his legs, it would have been. I
he
mean,
would in the third round, and he flips him. Ron Boots goes, he'll put him down. I
yeah,
guarantee you, Xander would have put him down if he had his legs underneath him.
yeah,
Yes,
but he
I know
didn't.
it.
So there's no excuses.
But I couldn't, he couldn't do it. So, but due to the fact of what Ron Boots did that with his punching power,
Now,
that's all in
this
fair game.
the same way I've been hearing the Puerto Rican knee. I've also been hearing that Boots doesn't have the power that people make. It's more like accumulation. That's something that
Oh yeah, I was going to drop the link. Go ahead.
um El Pinche. Let me catch up with the chat. El Pinche says Boricua Cope off the charts, laughing emoji. Um I'm just someone replies to him, call it cope if it makes you feel better. Calazo and Santiago, all you dudes got crying emoji. Oh, pinche. Morales, Pacquiao 3.
Okay, we're doing it.
And then there was another one. Damn, it was a Mexican against a Puerto Rican fighter that the fucking Mexican said no mas. I forgot the name though. I'll get it. I'll think about it.
Matias did that to a lot of guys, bro.
Yeah, I know a
Got to
lot of
be a bit
Mexicans.
more Pacific.
Big Boys Boxer says Virgil will lose one of his next warm up fights. Laughing emoji.
Probably so. You might be right.
I'm just someone says, who is all you dudes? Question. He's talking to Pinche. Frontline echo is bad. Johnny, salute in the building. Now it's good. Frontline, you sick? Nah, I got allergies. My nose is all fucked up and clogged up. Trek says, should Zayas go back for the rematch clause? No, not yet. I want him to wait and probably, and you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Xander's gonna move up to 60, right? I think Boots is gonna try to clean up the division and then move up. And I think they'll meet again at 60, and it'll probably be a different fight or a better fight or the same results. Well, I don't know. Um, German Watts, salute. He says Boots is the truth. Big Boy says round one. I wouldn't bother responding to that. No Mazias BS. Dude is trying to get a bite. There is nothing else to that unless the guy has special needs. I think he rides the big yellow bus to school. Santos says,
Front
"Nah,
line, look at the screen.
I'm looking at it."
There we go. What's this? What's this?
That's the Mexican tier.
Look, is he crying on the referee's shoulder?
Yep.
Put your head on my shoulder. Yo, listen. Let me tell you something. This is what we won't be doing. Look at watch this. Oh, wait. Come on, man. You gotta this buffering shit, bro. It's gotta stop. Damn. Hold up. Maybe if we started from the beginning, it'll play faster. No, it did not. Okay, here we go. Come on, man. Play it. This is no. This is not what I want you to see. Damn it. Watch him carry him off. Watch this. Watch in the background. Look in the background. Watch homeboy go but carrying off. Look. He's coming now. He's coming by right now. Look. Damn. Damn.
Bad. Santos says, "Nah, I knew from the minute this fight got announced, Xander was going to get his ass whooped. He did what he could. Salute to the young king for chasing greatness." Jason says, "Bro, you would have thought Boots beats Mayweather or Crawford the way people are acting with his victory."
Wow.
Big Boy says it's clear the coach stopped it. Um,
Indeed, though. Look at him.
someone says ignore
Uh,
him, he'll go away. He's trolling.
Wait,
go ahead.
Boy says they both came to win, and that's what made it a great fight. Jason said I was a little pissed Xander lost. Can't lie, but oh well. I still rock with Xander.
That's
I'm
what
just
it
someone
is, man.
says Xander came to fight. I think he thought he could stand toe to toe because he was a little bigger than Boots. Johnny says Boots switching southpaw. Great fight. Salute to the fighters. Old school said people don't realize just how hard Boots is punching. The punches Xander ate was crazy. No excuses. Boots is way better. Says I'm just someone.
Mhm.
YT Fatigue says, bro, just knocked the last guy out in the first round. What you mean accumulation? Frontline, why you never got your camera on? There's reasons for
Why?
that.
Because he never has a haircut. You know what I'm saying? He
I be
looks
looking like Santos. My shit be crazy.
Yo, he looks like Wolverine. He looks like Wolverine in real life. You know what I'm saying? He's like this, and he's always ready. Ching.
uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Yo, so you know. Plus, he's always doing the interview with a cigar in his mouth, so he doesn't want you guys to see him. So, Yeah, real
Not
badass
because
shit.
I don't want Edwin Sandler to get a strike or get shut down by me showing my face and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Just the
Yeah.
the rawness of
They
madness,
no,
when
but
he
they just
lights
caught.
his cigar, when Frontline lights his cigar, he takes a wooden match and he strikes his beard.
Nah, you know what it is though? I get called dickhead all the time, so I don't want you to get shut
You
down.
stop it. Yeah, I mean, yo, this is like that's who Frontline is, So
Hey, Edward Cook, on that Nestor situation again, I heard you either saying he fake, and I agree with you. I don't know if you knew this or not, but yeah, since I don't even want to get into that because Edward fucks
don't
with him.
stop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stop. Just stop. Yeah, I know
hey
about a
Santos,
lot of
hit
things.
me up after. We'll talk about it, but
Oh
I'm not
my
gonna do
God,
it
you
here.
guys, bochincheros. Anyway, listen. My
Trax
thing,
wants to know your thoughts on Juanita Lopez. I think
amazing fighter,
the kid's gonna have a bright future if he stays
bright
on track.
future. Yo, have you guys gone and check out some of my videos that I put about my experience leading into the fight and everything? I try to share that with all you guys. I try to bring that to the boxing voice, but apparently, for bringing what I went and experienced in the fight, I got fucking, they try to shame me for wearing my flag at the fight. It turned into a whole thing. It
Who
was
did?
just bizarre. Ness, because I told him that I was interviewing Michaela Mayer with my Puerto Rican flag. I just stopped her and asked her a question and shit. And I told him I was, in there trying to learn how to cover the fight.
It
And
was a
he
heat of
went
the
and
moment situation. You bumped into her. You took advantage of the opportunity, and you did it. Who
yeah.
gives a fuck?
No. So check it out. So he starts going into a monologue about. Did you see any of the other reporters with flags on, Edwin? You can't do that. You can't have a flag on and be covering the fight. Did you see Showbiz with a flag? Though, anybody.
That's what makes you
Uh,
round one.
so he's like, that's not professional, right? And I'm like really thrown back here now, right? Because at this point in the conversation, he knew. I got text messages from him that I asked him, "Yo, can you help me out with credentials? Because I missed the deadline." So I missed the deadline for the zone, so they closed the signing for credentials, so I couldn't get in. So I said, okay, let me reach out to Ness and I'm going to ask him if I could go under the boxing voice, right? So he tells me, has you ever covered an event this big? And I'm like, well, I did the one in Puerto Rico and I did this one over here. I only got like two under my belt or something. And he was like, well, all right. He was going to get back to me or whatever. But I text him days before the fight. So it wasn't like, he had all the time in the world or whatever, but he never got back to me. So I got the text. So he knew I never got the credentials. I went there like I was on my show. I told you guys I'm going as a fan. I wasn't there under credentials with a flag on my back. For him to go and start downing me about how unprofessional I am, brother, you knew I didn't have that. So I just
Did
felt
he did that
like that
a
was
live?
yeah, I just felt that
See,
was
that's gay as fuck. He should have called
like,
you on side and say, "Yo, Edwin, I know you don't do a lot of events, but listen, when you go there, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. Stick to this,
right.
stick to that." That's a
And
professional.
then,
That's some coward shit.
and
Calling
then,
people
and
out
then,
like
and
that.
then, and then on the live, right? He goes on and says, I said to him, he goes, oh, you're biased. You're just biased for all Puerto Ricans. And I'm like, dude, I thought I was real explicit with this. No, Xander earned my respect and I'm showing him his support. And I said, on this fight right here, don't follow me, guys. That I told you is for pride and country and what it meant to me for him to get that third belt. So I said it's Xander himself. The fact that he's Puerto Rican, okay, it makes it better. That's the cherry on top of which Naoya anyway was Puerto Rican, but he's not. So
He's
and
Japanese.
then yeah, so he tells the world this is not, we're on a live like boxing big platform. And he says, look at this guy right here. He's lying. to try to say that all of a sudden now he just picked him for this. I said, who are you talking to? He said, you're a liar. He called me a liar. Now I'm confused again. I'm like, wait a minute, Ness. I've been real transparent. He goes, no, you haven't. You've never said that.
Well,
And
I'm
I'm
just
like,
someone makes a good point here. He said Ness smokes weed on camera, crashes out on people for their opinions, and has a nerve to say round one is unprofessional. He has anger management issues.
yo, so I'm sitting there like, so, and then he started getting on me about the flag that I had the flag and that the flag is that makes me biased. And he started going on this tirade, right? Which now I'm really like thrown back. Now I'm like, brother, do you want me to come up here and talk boxing with you, or do you just want to take shots at me and try to discredit my boxing analytics, right? Then I realized in the moment, wait a minute, you don't watch my show. Like I give my effort, my time, and everything to your show, but the problem is that you're not caught up with me. So miraculously, I never thought this would happen. Some of his chat guys, some of his members started speaking up for me and were like, yo, Ness, you're going a little too far with this, shit. You're giving round one some shit. So he blocked the dude for a week. He said, why you think I'm being hard on round one? You think that I'm being, and he was crashing out. And he blocked his own member. Mind you, these people pay a subscription, a membership in order to text on his show. He blocked his own members. So what do you think the rest of the guys were going to? You think they were going to say anything for me? Anybody that said anything in my defense or didn't agree to it, he was ruling it with an iron fist. He no longer valued opinion. You understand? And I just thought that I was like, wow, man, maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe he doesn't want me up here anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So as a man, like you're not just gonna get yelled at so much.
Yes,
Just take yourself out of the equation. It's just simple. I
Edwin,
subject myself to that because I put myself there. You understand? So
Edwin,
that's what.
I keep it professional for you and your channel. You know that we talked about it
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
scenes, and
yeah,
I'm gonna keep
yeah.
it that way. But
Right,
Santos says, especially to do it in front of all his viewers to sabotage your chances of growing. That
right.
that's the way I see it. Even if he wasn't trying to do that, what he
That's
did,
what he's
fuck
doing.
out of here. I can't stand
Yeah,
that. Says old school. Santos says coming for your image and validity in front of viewers while calling himself a friend is OD corny. Ness was on his period, says Jason. Talking Trends says, you make the show horrible anyways, round one. You talk too much. Talk trends. Walk trends. Get the fuck out of here then. Ain't nobody keeping you here. Like, yo, we here to talk shit, talk boxing. You know what I'm saying? If he makes it horrible, go suck a dick over there. I mean, it is what it
Stop.
is.
But like, stay in character. You don't got to
It
get
is.
them to snap for him. Don't
Nah.
stoop
I'm just
yourself.
saying.
Yeah.
I try to keep it professional on your channel and shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't talk about nobody else, regardless of how I feel. But you got a cornball like this one coming in here talking about your show is horrible. You make the show horrible anyways. Round one,
Hmm.
you talk too much.
Hmm.
Okay, but you
Sure.
here. But you're here.
It's okay. It's
Yo,
okay. You know what I'm
who's that
saying?
popped
Like,
up here? Shout out to him.
yo, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, going, man. It's Big Boys.
Big
Big
boys,
boys, what
what's
up,
up,
huh?
brother?
Good to see you, man. Glad to join for a change. Hey, don't
Yeah.
listen to Ness, man. If you're not a sheep, he's not going to like you. That's it. If you're not a sheep and follow everybody else and be like everybody else, he's not going to be nice to you. He's not a very
Right.
nice man.
That is what it
Yeah.
is.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think that, uh he gave me a lot of opportunities, and I'm thankful for that. I met a lot of interesting people there. I enjoy going to the boxing voice. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, all bitter or whatever. Maybe he had a hair across his ass about this fight. I don't know what was going on with him. Um, and but it's been that way for a couple shows now. And I'm just starting to think like I'm sitting there and I'm just saying to myself, you know what, man, like that's cool, man. Maybe I'll just step off for a little bit, you know what I mean? But I like the interviews. I fuck with him because of the interviews and his connection and his, the he has a big viewing audience. So, but sometimes it's like, yo, you just, you can't sacrifice too much, man. Integrity and image is a lot to me too. You know what I'm saying? And I carry myself and I hold myself to a higher standard. There's only so much that I'm willing to go before I realize, bro, maybe you just don't want me around or anything like that. Don't force yourself to be around people. That's the worstest thing possible. You're gonna look sad. So it's like, if I go up there, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, you start fucking tweaking, how many crash outs he had in the last 3 episodes I went on over the Xander shit. Like he's really crashing out about it all the time. And it's just like, you know what? All right, cool, bro. Fine. No one can. I thought this was the boxing voice. I thought you would allow the people to talk. If we're not agreeing, like this man said, they'll fall in line. What? We get thrown off, we're timed out, and
Yeah,
it's
he's
not
got
shit talking. It's not me shit talking about Ness. I've never said anything wrong about the man. I just pointing out how I feel, how I was treated, how I feel I was treated, and how I just eliminated myself from the situation. That's it.
you did the right
Never
thing,
said a
man.
bad word about the man.
Getting
Never
called a
said a
liar
bad word about
live
him.
is pretty rude.
Yeah, it was like a little degrading. Like I had to
Yeah, man.
stick in there because if I would have hopped off, right, it would have made me look bad. So now that I was subjected to this, I had to find a way to work it, right? Marcos comes into the boxing voice, being at the event, covering the event. He comes on, he says, hey, what's up, guys? Marcos, what's up, guys? Yeah, I was at the event. Nothing else. He gave nothing. I brought my experience to the boxing voice and I shared that with everybody. Look, this is what I did. I even met TBV community dudes. They gave me a charger. Like shout out to the dude. I can't remember his name, man. But he was cool people. He knows who we are. And I met a lot of dudes and in person, they know. They saw who round one really is. And like I had a great time. I went to the boxing voice to share that. And in sharing that, I was criticized, I was shamed, I was judged, I was called a liar. And going to this event, I paid my money. I reached out to you to help me get credentials. By the way, you never got back to me. I
Edward, I
go
would
on your
even sweat
show
it.
and I bring you everything, my experience to show with boxing fans. And in doing so, that's what happened. Marco goes there, does not share nothing, absolutely nothing on Boxing Voice about his event. Who asked him the questions? I did. I asked him about his experience and that we saw each other at the event. And for doing so, this is how I was treated.
Hey, real
So
quick, let
look,
me address SpongeBob SquarePants in the chat. Um, and that's Maribel Colon. She goes to every, especially pro box. She be in there talking greasy about Puerto Ricans, and the reason why is because she was married to a Puerto Rican. Y le pegó cuerno a la cabrona, and now she hates Puerto Ricans. But it's all
wow, I'm
good,
sorry. I'm
SpongeBob.
so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that.
She's built like SpongeBob. That's why I call her
That's all
that.
right. That's all right, bro. You know what? SpongeBob needs cariño too. You know what I'm saying? And then from me to you, you know what I'm saying? Like that Puerto Rican treated you bad. I'm sorry, boo. You know what I'm saying? Look, mira, besito pa ti. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Yeah. I
Yo, talk trends. I'll let you address it. You quitting just like Xander. Must be a Puerto Rican blood to be quitters. The
no,
one
no, no,
that
no.
the same
No,
one,
stop,
the
Don't
same
stop,
try
one
it.
that just said,
stop, stop. I'm quitting like Xander and Puerto Ricans, blood and quitters. Brother, in order for me to quit something, I would have to, quit from going, right? No, I don't feel wanted. There's a difference. If you're the type of dude that needs to keep going back to the same homeboys that treat you like shit, those are not your friends. And if you can't recognize that, that's on you. And sometimes in life, you do gotta call it quits. Don't be an idiot. Are you afraid to stand on your own? To carve your own path? Do you think I need to hold hands for somebody to be successful? I didn't start this because I wanted to be the next Nest boxing voice. I started this to be round one sports talk. I'm not sure if you understand me because I'm a winner and I will always continue to go forward. You might go back to the same people that treat you like this and just think that it's okay. Well, that's you and that's your decision, not mine. Continue reading the chat.
"Hey, let me just address Maribel one more. Maribel, in this chat, you're fucked because we don't block nobody. So if they get at you, they jodiste. I'm just someone says, haha, he probably blocked her from life, and this is how she gets back at him. I feel sorry for Maribel. Jason says Maribel ain't married. She just hangs around looking for Puerto Ricans to talk to. Laughing emoji. Hopkins stopped your flag. Laugh my ass off. And Hopkins also hired a private security with a private helicopter to get flown out of Puerto Rico because they was ready to kill him. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was a dead man. That wasn't a funny situation. What he did there, once he did it, Hopkins, he had realized in that moment he fucked up. They swarmed that fucking hotel in that place. He had to like fucking say that he was going to one place and they had to like put it out so they could sneak him out he was dead. They were gonna kill that man. That wasn't nothing to play with. Them dudes, when that happened, see, back then there was no internet. You actually had to call somebody. When those reporters saw that shit, them dudes called Primo. Primo on Puerto Rico on the island, he's somebody. Them dudes, yo, they was going down, they was gonna really kill him. They had to fly him out in a helicopter, emergency helicopter off the island. The Puerto Ricans no longer wanted, he was not welcome. You're lucky he made it out of there with his kids. I wouldn't want to see that. I didn't want nothing to happen to his kids or his wife. You don't understand. These Puerto Ricans are like the Mexicans too. They will kill you, your family, everyone. The reporters next to you, the cops, they were going to gun down everyone. That's not funny. That was a mistake he lived to regret, and he's still apologizing to this very day. You know how many times he's been held up in some hallway by some Puerto Ricans behind that shit? That was nothing to like, you just say it. Like he didn't pay any price for that. Bro, his life was a living hell for a little while. It
Excuse my
was. And it
ignorance.
was
What did he
just
do?
like, he burnt the Puerto Rican flag in Puerto
Oh,
Rico.
what an idiot.
He lit it on fire
What
back
a
in the
dick.
80s. Yeah, that was a
Wow.
bad mistake, man. Like, and then like he would go to New York City and shit, and like, bro, that shit lingered. That followed him for a while, for a
Yeah.
long time, bro. Yeah, it did. And then like we like laughed when he ate those words when he said, "I ain't gonna get beat by a white boy," and the white boy knocked him out of the ring.
Oh, that meme will live forever.
It will live forever. So we was like, "Yo, karma, karma," you know what I'm saying? Got you. That was a crazy situation. Yeah, man. They had to get
Maribel,
that man out of there.
you must not know how all this shit works behind the scenes with these artists. They do that shit for clout. That beef is really not real. Cause
What
trust,
beef?
if she's talking about 6ix9ine and beefing with Anuel. If
Oh,
if
stop. Don't
if
even talk about that. It's like, don't even address. This is a boxing channel. We don't address any of that bullshit. You know the rules, Frontline. Don't do that.
I'm just
Don't
someone
do
said
that. I
Floyd
don't even
Mayweather
know.
made
Yep.
it his business to punk Mexicans, and you guys made him rich. Now all black fighters shit on Mexico.
It's just
Charleston White said Puerto
competition.
Ricans.
That's just competition. It's listen, let me tell you guys
Yeah,
something here at Round One Sports Talk. If you're just tuning in or joining with us, I advocate for competition. And I want to thank every country that competes in boxing. I love Mexican boxers. I'm an American fan. I love Puerto Rican boxer. I'm a Puerto Rican. I love Spaniards, Japanese, any man that laces them up in any country. To tell you the truth, without you guys, my competition, there would be no boxing. If it wasn't for great Mexican boxers that every now and then beat US fighters and we beat you back, then there would be no excitement. So I want to take the time out to thank every competing country that pushes America to be greater, and all countries for that matter. If you're from the UK, think the same mindset. I want you to be from the UK and thank America for making pushing your guys to be better. To have somebody to beat on because there's no better victory for a UK fighter than to beat an American champion. Now is there? So
Maribel.
we got to honor competition.
When I was talking to El Pinchi when he was in here, you say Mexicans are the toughest fighters in boxing. Go back and watch Morales Pacquiao 3. Then come talk to us. Oh, Cincy in the building
No,
says, salute, man. We all family
salute.
in this boxing shit. I'm black and y'all my YouTube brothers.
Thank
I'm
you.
just
Thank you for
I'm
being
just
an
someone
adult.
definitely
But what happened?
definitely the
Uh,
ones to get hit the most. Says I'm just someone. Jason says Mexicans are the toughest. That's why they take steroids. She says, shut all that soft
mm-mm.
shit up. Okay. SpongeBob built like a construction builder. But anyways, that card was that Xander card was one hell of a card.
Listen, it was one hell of a night. Let me tell you something right now. Okay. Leading up into the fight, there were many, many fights that took place, and there was a lot of knockouts. All I remember in that night, besides interacting and talking with people in the crowd like we do, and I met so many people out there, new people that subscribe to my channel, and you know, uh, I had a wonderful experience, but the knockouts were just coming, bro. Okay. And before I knew it, like I saw Juan Mita Lopez next score the knockout, right? And all of a sudden I see Bryce Miller and Vargas go toe to toe. Then I saw that finish. Then all of a sudden Ben Whitaker fucking arches Popeye. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, and there was a lot of time in between fights. because out in New York they have a schedule. They tell you what time you're gonna come out, and if somebody gets knocked out, they just fill it in with fillers. They start talking or showing you old fights or whatever. So there was a lot of time for people to get up and interact. And I met Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs was out in the back. He's big as shit. And I was like, yo, Shannon. Uh, we were all in the back smoking and shit. Like I said, I even interviewed. I have a little interview with Juanita's father. I'll be putting that up, that video too. Um, there was just a lot of experiences there, and I had a great time. But the card, for being not the best stacked card, it really hold its weight now, didn't it? It was like knockout at the only one that I saw that went the distance was the Yuri Cedeno fight and Jahai Tucker. That's the only one I saw go the distance that I can remember. Now, those $34 drinks were going down. I know they were going down. And I was like, by the time I got to the Xander fight, I was blunted, feeling nice. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something. When Xander made his ring walk, right, they was booing and cheering for Jerron Boots Ennis, right? But when Xander made his ring walk, that shit went crazy. Yo, we was up there, so waving our flag. We was like hyped, you know what I'm saying, for our guy. And the whole night was just really great, and we didn't really walk out of there with the sense that we lost. It didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like we got wiped down, even though we kind of did. The fact that Xander fought him back and really showed that he can be hurt, that he's not a machine, he can be hurt, and Xander came up short. So we were okay. We were sad, but it wasn't like that kind of like it was not the same as walking out with Felix Trinidad and Bernal Hopkins. It wasn't the same feeling. When Felix lost, that was bad. Like flags were down wayside type shit. That was bad. When Xander lost, the Puerto Ricans were like kind of rushing out to their car, a little upset, but still had something to be hype about. They kept, you could hear them. You like you could, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, he fell short, man. There's no excuse. There's levels to this. Jerron Boots Ennis actually did what he said leading up into the fight. He said, no matter what you do, Xander, I'm going to whoop you and I'm going to knock you out. That's exactly what he did. And they kept asking Jerron Boots Ennis, what you going to, and he kept overlooking or over talking. He was like, listen, I'm telling you guys, there's a skill gap here and I'm going to show you. And unfortunately, that's what played out. There's no excuse. Xander bit off more than he can chew. He did. And Jerron Boots Ennis showed why he was a better fighter. That's it. And congratulations to Philly. Jerron Boots Ennis, you beat us fair and square. It's on to the next for Xander. A lot of people are talking about a rematch clause or that he should give him a shot. Jerron Boots Ennis should give Xander a shot at the belt because he gave him a shot, which respectfully so, that could be a possibility. Now, Xander, if anybody's listening to me, don't do that. Allow Xander to get better. Xander, by putting him in there again with Jerron Boots Ennis, because you faced him, you think you would have more success. Well, now Jerron Boots Ennis has also been in there with your guy, and he's familiar with him too. It could also be worse. So I would take my time, and I think in a good world that Xander should move up to 160 and fight one of the champions like Laura or Carlos Adames. You fight one of them, or for the vacant IBF. You get that belt, you get a belt, you get some fights underneath you. And I think in a few fights, if Duran's successful to take in all the belts and get the champions, if he can't get the champions in the ring with him, eventually Duran Butenis is going to move up to 160. And I think you could relive that fight there. I think that Xander will get more experience underneath him. And I think he'll be at another weight. For him to go back down and fight at 154, Duran Butenis, let's say he wins. Let's say in a good world, he goes down, gets that leg back, and beats Duran Butenis. For what? He's not going to stay in the division. He's just going to beat him to get to vacate the belt, to move up. So why do that? Why put your body through that again? You seen that Xander was real depleted. You saw he gave a lot in that weight cut. It was easier to knock out Xander. If Xander's properly hydrated, he might not go down by those shots or be that affected by it. So why even play around in 154 and go through that again? Let Xander get up and wait. Let him get to 160. Let Duran Butenis come up. The Xander and Duran Butenis 2 fight will be held at 160. I think it'll be a better fight then.
Talk
I'm
Trend
not
says
sure.
Xander got no defense. Lara sleeps him.
Yeah, Laura is a very, very crafty veteran. What he lost in a boxing step, he knows in experience. He knows how to be patient in the pocket. You'll catch Xander with some sneaky shots in the inside if Xander's not careful. The problem is you're taking Xander Zayas off his last performance with boots. And you saw a guy coming forward, getting hit a lot, not moving his head. And I see where you're going to get that from. The problem is that's not how Xander fights. Xander fights like he fought Pino Perez, Bas Baru, and everybody else he fought. When he fights Lara, he's not going to fight Lara like he fought Duran Butenis. He's going to use the youth on his side and use his legs against Lara. He's going to lure Lara into a shot, and he's going to put Lara away. Xander beats Lara in my eyes. Lara is good, great, crafty guy, but he can only work if you're flat-footed in front of him. At this point in his career, he's not the old Lara of old, but if you get too close to Lara, he's a live dog. That's not going to favor Xander. He knows that. I know that. Lara is not the type of guy that you can just walk in the front door on. He's too crafty. Well, the Xander that's going to fight Lara is going to be like the one that fought Abbas Baru. He's going to beat the shit out of Lara. And I also think that the Dominican fighter, Carlos Adames, if he's still there, Carlos Adames is struggling to make that weight. He's going to give too much in that fight, and Xander's going to put him away. Mark my words. Carlos Adames should have been left. This is what's going to happen.
I heard he moved up to
Watch.
68 though.
I heard that too, but he's still the champion at 160. So his name is on that belt. So they better figure out what they're going to do. But that his name is still on the belt. So I got to take him as the champion. And I'm telling you, Carlos Adames has a problem trying to make 160. He's going to fucking give too much, and Xander's going to stop him. Mark my word, watch.
Yo, you know what fight I want to see made?
We got a lot of fucking boxing with Xander. Watch. Go
You know
ahead.
what? You know what fight I want to see made?
What?
Emiliano Vargas versus Tito Mercado.
At this point, I think Vargas wipes him.
I do too. That's why I want to see it because Tito talks a lot of shit.
I think Vargas wipes him down. So
What do you
I
think,
don't
big
know.
boys? Oh, he pulled a Mr. Miyagi. He fell asleep on us.
No,
Sorry,
no,
man, I
he's
have my
probably
mic muted.
he got his mic muted.
I don't know too much about Machado, to be honest. So I can't
Mhm.
comment too much, but Emiliano's got to take some steps forward. He needs a title shot. So
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, listen, let me ask you guys why I got you guys here. What do you think? Speaking about title shots, what do you guys think about the late replacement for Abdullah Mason's title fight? He was scheduled to fight Joe Cardena, and apparently there's video circulating online where he punches a guy coming out of the gym or something, and he got charges put on him. So that's
Who's
why
that?
he
Joe
can't
Cardina?
fly. Yeah, that's why he can't fly out of the country, and your visa gets taken because now you have criminal charges, so you can't travel until the case is resolved. So they were showing footage of him. They think that they set him up. Somebody set him up to get him criminally charged so that they can get this Albert Bell dude. They paid Albert Bell what I'm being told from the boxing voice and Ness. Shout out to Ness because he covered this. Ness is the one that broke the story that said he got a text message that they paid Albert Bell 6 times the amount to abandon the Andy Cruz fight. He was scheduled to fight Andy Cruz. He got out of the Andy Cruz fight. They paid him 6 times the amount, the money they was getting for Andy Cruz to fight Abdullah Mason. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Joe Cardenas is being filmed from a car. Somebody is filming him from a car. This guy with a backpack is walking past him while he's walking out of the boxing gym on his phone. The guy's walking past him and goes like that and shoves him. Joe Cardenas' phone drops. He looks at him. He goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" The guy said something to him. And all of a sudden, Joe Cardenas punches him. And the guy goes straight down. And then Joe grabs him by the jacket and he raises his hand like this. And he's like telling him, like, "Yo, what the hell are you doing?" And they filmed him. And then he got charged. And when he got arrested, all of a sudden, now he can't fly to the US. But it didn't look like Joe knew the guy. It wasn't like he had beef with somebody, because if you know somebody, you wouldn't let him walk past you and bump you. Of course, Joe saw him and just like, all right, he didn't think nothing. The guy just went boom like that to him. That was a setup, and somebody was filming him.
yeah, it's premeditated for sure.
Yeah, it's premeditated. So with the charges, he can't fly. That takes him out of the fight. They get this guy and give him 6 times the money to do what? To take the hit. He's going to go in there. He's being paid to beat Abdullah Mason. Somebody wants Abdullah Mason out of there. They took the guy that they said, we don't think can beat him. They got him out of the equation and they got another guy. They're thinking that Albert Bell is going to beat Abdullah Mason. For some reason, I don't know. Maybe it's the way his father and the way he got those dudes, and they maybe they don't take envelopes. Maybe they're like fighting against, and apparently somebody like I don't know how to view it. I don't know how to view it, but Ness thinks that it's a setup, that they're setting up Abdullah Mason.
It could happen, man. I'm just scrolling through this guy's resume. There's not a lot of names I know on there, but he is 28-0. I think I've seen him fight once,
Yeah,
but I don't,
like right. I don't
sneaky.
think that this Albert Bell guy, right? He has like a 35% knockout ratio. He doesn't have what he has, like 9 knockouts.
Yeah, 9
But
knockouts out of 28 wins.
yeah, but what he is efficient. He's not a big puncher, but he's real slick. And he's been in with some guys, better guys at least than young Abdullah. I mean, the best guy Abdullah Mason is Noel there, the last guy he fought for the vacant title, which was previously owned by Keyshawn Davis. So that's the best record, the fighter that Abdullah has on his record. So sending in this rarely Terry unknown young gun, older gun, that it'll go under the radar. Nobody will think anything other than, okay, Albert Bell. But the boxing world knows he's a shark. And they hired him to fucking take Abdullah out. In fact, they paid him 6 times the amount of money to fight him.
Albert Bell
So
is good. He's a good fighter. He's long. He's
I don't think
tall.
he beats Abdullah.
But I
I
don't
don't
think
know
he beats
what.
a Mason. I don't think he beats Mason either.
I don't think so. So when Ness and all these guys are saying, "Yo, I think this was a setup," I'm sitting there and I'm going, "Fuck that, bro! Get Albert Bell a pillow and a blanket because Abdullah Mason's about to knock him out." I was like, I don't got Albert Bell in the fight. I got Mason in the fight. And I think that Abdullah Mason is going to come in there and show us a better version of himself. And I think Abdullah Mason, I don't give a fuck what. Same way they set up Tank when Tank said he felt like he was being set up by Floyd, right? He turns around and says, Floyd brought me to the Puerto Rican fight there. The first words, what was his name again?
Pedraza.
Pedraza. Pedraza. And Tank felt like he was being set up with Pedraza, that he was being rushed in too early to a title fight. And Tank knew he was being set up, and he went out there and starched Pedraza. Tank said, I know I'm being set up. And that was because Tank said that during that time, Floyd thought that he was screwing around with his daughter. Remember that? And there was a lot of things on social media that Tank was sleeping with Floyd Mayweather's daughter. And for Floyd to get back at Tank, he threw him in with Pedraza. But Tank ended up on top. Yeah, they might want to be taking a shot at Abdullah Mason. Okay. And maybe a lot of people view it like that. But I think Abdullah Mason's going to come out on top. I think that the young man is a great fighter. Abdullah Mason, I think he's young, though. He can be caught. His inexperience, we've seen, but he's going to get better. He's going to learn on the job. He's going to keep getting better. I think that Abdullah Mason is definitely ahead of the curve for the young men that he started coming up with in that era. I mean, he got a lot further than uh Frontlines fighter here, fucking Shushu Carrington. Shushu Carrington became champion at what, 28 years old? 28, going on 29? That's when he got his first belt. So Abdullah Mason, man, for the age that he is, man, like so young, and he's doing some good shit. So I could say that he is ahead of his curve. And I think that they threw him a curveball here. No matter how you view the situation, I said this for Xander. If you took the responsibility to pick that belt up, and you got a responsibility to defend it. If you weren't ready for that kind of smoke, you could have never fought for the belt. Just ask Virgil. He's never ready. Right? So once Abdullah Mason became champion, that's it. Whatever curveball they throw your way, you better be able to hit a curveball. That's all I can say about that. Whether you feel it was a setup or whatever, fine. But shouts out to the Trees, Midwest Mafia. What up, Trees? That's my guy. That's my guy, Trees. We on other sides on this one. I gotta take Mason. I gotta take the Mason. And also fighting on that fight card is Tiger Johnson. Tiger Johnson he's walking into the most difficult part of his career. Tiger Johnson is the type of fighter that he's going to really have to get it out the mud. He's going to have to. It's the only way Tiger Johnson can reach success. He's a bit too good. He's high risk, low reward at this point. He's a bit too good, not just there ready to really fight the top guys. He's in that funny place in boxing where the middle guys are going to avoid you. And you might have to take some tougher fights early. Tiger Johnson, he's going to have to get it out the mud. It's not going to be easy for him. They're going to try to speed track him to the top guys and feed him to fighters like Devin Haney. And he might fall to those guys because he won't be ready. In order for Tiger Johnson to be a world champion, he's going to have to get it out the mud. Straight up. They're not gonna. He's that middle part where it's important, where you like stay and grow with boxing. I have a feeling they're gonna rush him at this point. You let him get better, Tiger Johnson. You allow him to get too good. You might not stop him to a championship, at least to one. So, yeah, I like Tiger Johnson, but he's gonna be fighting a lot of guys I also like. And he's gonna have to make a lot of decisions. Watch what I tell you. He's gonna get fast tracked to like a Keith fight or some shit like that, and or to a Devin Haney fight. They're gonna do that to him. Yeah, because you're gonna have to beat him now. Also, there's a lot of fights on that card too that are going to be very interesting. I can't wait for that July 4th fight card. I think that's going to be held in Cleveland, Ohio, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be doing a live watch breakdown party for that fight, so join us for that. Um, Abdullah, three other brothers fighting on the card. Yes, on the prelims. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Um, we're gonna get our first real glimpses on a live TV broadcasting of the three brothers. We had the Keyshawn Davis brothers, three brothers fight on one card. We've had that, and you saw how that turned out. After the fight, there were charges that were brought up. The key to the city was taken back, and your family name was dropped. They were going to make street signs of the Davis names, but they held up on that. That's what that family did. Let's see what you do. You guys are up next, young men. The Masons. Let's see how the Masons do. Let's find out. Right? And boxing is much more than just boxing. The athlete, whether they want to or not, they have a responsibility to act accordingly because there's always a young man and woman, a child, a girl looking on. And you might not want to be somebody's hero or role model or someone but please act like you have some sense to for the next wave, entice the next boxers to become boxers. And why? We don't need no more bling bling, crashing cars, flipping Corvettes. We seen what that did to our fighters. Late nights in hotel rooms with girls you shouldn't be in there with. Wake up the next morning on the front page on some charges. We seen what that does to our fighters. We need these fighters to be positive role models, and it seems like the powers that be don't like that. They want us to be the way we are, caught on camera in an elevator, smacking our fiance. That's what they want. They want us to see us unravel the rise and fall of the American boxer or whatever country's boxer. That's what they want. And when we got good fighters leading the way with positive messages, they don't like that shit. That's why the Vargas kid, he's good, he's great, but why do you think they're saying that he sucks? And why do you think they're trying to like say he's not ready for this, that, this? Why? I don't know, man. They don't think they like it. They want us to stay stagnant in the behavior of what it is to be a fighter. You're a fighter, so you must live like a raw life. Gold chains, 2 women's underneath your arms, looking like a champion, looking like Mayweather, that's what a champion Mayweather set the bar. That's what you're supposed to look like. And everybody in the pursuit of chasing Mayweather, all they're in rehabs. Look at AB. That was the message that Mayweather set. It's a new era, a new day. And these fighters right now, these young fighters like Xander Zayas, like Abdullah Mason, like Emilio Vargas. This is a new wave now, isn't it? Do you see Xander with all those tattoos? No. Do you see Vargas with any tattoos? No. Do you see Abdullah Mason with any tattoos? No. They don't got no tattoos on their face. They're not doing any of this shit. And they're leading the way. And for some reason, it seems like the boxing gods want to take them down. They don't want the good guy, the good message being sent to our children. They want to keep this Floyd Mayweather shit going. And I'm thankful for fighters like Abdullah, but I understand, like, we can't win them all. Xander fell. Just because he's a good guy doesn't mean you're going to win. But he's still there. He's still in the sport. And he's not shying away. He's on to the next fight. So his image, what he brings to the sport is still there. Top Rank still signed him for 5 deals. Bad Bunny is still in the corner, and we're all still supporting him. And he's gonna move on without a hitch. This was just a bump in the road. Let's go, Xander, train. All aboard. Let's go. We're going that way. That's it. That's it. And I hope that Abdullah continues and his brothers to be positive role models to the young men and women that are coming up in the sport of boxing, that are looking 16, 17-year-olds right now, that are looking at them, dreaming one day to follow in their footsteps. And shout out to the fighters today that believe in legacy, believe in raising the bar for the next fighter that comes behind him. That's what it's all about. Set your legacy, set what you did. And for the next guy behind you, when he looks at your body of work, he goes, the only way I'm going to get there, I got to do that shit. Set the bar. Push the next one. Competition. Write your name in the halls of boxing and immortality forever. Now that, my friends, is something worth fighting for. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in here at Round One Sports TV. Please give these videos a like for me. Do me a favor, reach down, hit that like button. You know, people I see that they have a problem with the hitting the like button and shit. They really do, but it's nothing. I hope you had a wonderful time here, and I will see you on the next one here at Round One Sports TV. Shout out to my co-host Frontline. But there will be more Crow in the near future for him and me for the end. I think for about the rest of this week, probably, because I know everybody didn't come in, to catch us just yet. So there'll be more Crow. But hey, we don't shy away from nothing here at Round One Sports TV. We have an amazing time. I love to talk boxing, and it's on to the next boxing match. I hope you had a wonderful time. My name is Edwin. Have a blessed night. Peace.